Every evening at exactly 5:17, a boy sat alone in the grass beside the train tracks. No phone, no friends, no music. Just a worn-out leather bag and his eyes locked on the passing trains. People in town started noticing him years ago. The farmers, the station workers, even the train conductors. Every single day, no matter the weather, he came back to the same spot. And nobody understood why. Until one old woman finally asked him a question that changed everything. "Who are you waiting for?" The boy looked at the tracks for a long moment before answering. "My sister."
The town was small and quiet. One of those places people leave behind. Most of the stores were closed now. The movie theater had shut down years ago. The bakery near the station was empty. Even the playground at the elementary school felt abandoned. But the trains still passed through every day. Morning, afternoon, evening. Like the town was still holding on to one final heartbeat. And every evening, the boy climbed the grassy hill beside the tracks. The grass reached almost to his knees. The summer wind moved through it like waves in the ocean. Above him, power lines stretched across the bright blue sky. Then, right on time, the sound of metal wheels, the rails shaking, the low hum of an approaching train. The boy always watched carefully as the windows passed by. Face after face. Strangers, office workers, students laughing, people heading somewhere important. But after every train disappeared into the distance, the boy stayed. Because he wasn't waiting for just any train. He was waiting for the old blue one, the evening train.
Beside him sat an old brown leather bag. It looked too old for someone his age. The edges were cracked, the straps were worn down from years of carrying it. Inside the bag were only 3 things: a notebook, a broken silver watch, and a folded letter. Every day before the blue train arrived, the boy carefully opened the letter. Not because he forgot the words, he already knew them by heart, but because hearing the paper unfold made him feel closer to the person who wrote it. The letter said, "Wait for me where the trains pass the hill. No matter how long it takes, I'll come back someday." No name, no date, just a tiny sunflower drawn at the bottom. And for years, that promise was enough to keep him coming back. When the boy was little, he had an older sister. She loved trains more than anything. She knew every train schedule, every station name, every shortcut through town. Sometimes she would grab his hand and pull him outside just to watch trains pass together. She used to tell him, "One day, we're going to ride a train all the way to the ocean." And he believed her. But one rainy evening, everything changed. Their father came home alone. No sister. No explanation. The adults whispered quietly behind closed doors. Neighbors stopped mentioning her name. And after a while, the town moved on, like she had never existed. But before she disappeared, she left him that letter. So every day after school, he waited. Because promises mattered to him, even if nobody else believed anymore. Summer turned into fall. The green grass became gold. Leaves blew across the tracks. Still, the boy waited. Winter covered the hill in snow. Cold wind cut through his jacket, while warm train lights glowed in the dark. Still, he waited. Spring arrived, with cherry blossoms floating through the air. Still, he came back, year after year. Some train conductors began recognizing him. A few waved as they passed. One even slowed the train slightly near the hill, as if everyone secretly understood. The boy wasn't just waiting for someone. He was protecting a memory the world had forgotten. One evening, an older woman noticed him from inside the blue train. The next day, she noticed him again. And again. Same spot, same bag, same lonely expression. Finally, curiosity got the better of her. So one evening, she stepped off at the next station and walked back to the hill. The boy looked surprised when she sat beside him. "You're here every day," she said gently. The boy nodded. "Who are you waiting for?" For a few seconds, he didn't answer. Then, quietly, almost like he was afraid to say it out loud, "My sister." The woman looked at him carefully, and for the first time in years, the boy told someone the whole story. After that day, the old woman kept coming back. Sometimes she brought hot sweet potatoes during winter, sometimes cold lemonade during summer. Some days they talked. Some days they just watched the trains together in silence. She told him stories about cities far away, about oceans, about mountains beyond the railway lines. And slowly, the boy realized something important. The trains weren't only carrying people away. Sometimes, they carried people back home, too. For the first time in years, hope didn't feel impossible anymore. Then one day, the station made an announcement. The old blue train was retiring. After decades on the tracks, Sunday would be its final ride. Most people in town didn't care, but the boy felt his stomach drop. Because that train was part of his sister, part of the promise, part of his childhood. Sunday arrived wrapped in golden evening sunlight. The hill glowed softly under the sky. The boy sat in the grass one last time, the old woman beside him. Then, far in the distance, the blue train appeared, moving slower than usual, almost peaceful. The boy stared at every passing window. And then, a hand waved from inside the train. Just once. The boy froze, because tied around that wrist was a sunflower bracelet. The train kept moving, past the hill, past the fields, toward the station. And suddenly, after years of sitting still, the boy ran. Through the tall grass, past the crossing gates, past the evening light, faster than he had ever run before. His heart pounded as he reached the station platform. The train doors were already closing, lights glowing inside the cars. Then, in the last window, a woman smiled at him. Older now, different, but unmistakable. His sister. Tears filled his eyes as the train slowly pulled away. But this time, he wasn't sad. Because after all those years, she finally came home.
The next evening, the hill beside the tracks was empty. Only the wind moved through the grass. Only the sound of cicadas filled the air. But resting quietly near the tracks was the old leather bag. And inside it, a new letter, folded carefully, waiting for another story to begin. Some people think waiting is a waste of time. But sometimes, waiting is how we keep love alive long enough to find its way home.